The next generation presidential transport chopper being built for the USMC is called the VH-92A, or the new Marine One. It has so many great features that it's the first choice for the White House, because it is the best chopper ever made. It took the place of the old VH-3D presidential chopper used by the USMC. Let's get down to the details of this terrible thing. By the year 2024, the VH-92A Patriot chopper, which is made by Sikorsky, will take over the job of moving Marine One. The VH-92A was made to replace the VH-3D Sea King and VH-60N White Hawk helicopters that are currently used to transport the President of the United States. The VH-92A will take over the job of transporting the President by helicopter. The White House has said that they plan to buy a fleet of 21 VH-92A helicopters, with a goal of using 2 of them for tests. This will make the safety of transporting the president a lot better. During a business meeting in Connecticut, Paul Lemo, the president of Sikorsky, said that the VH-92A helicopters are already being used for a number of presidential tasks. There are a mix of new and old aircraft right now, Lemo told CT Insider, but we expect the VH-92 to take over completely in the next year or so. After Lockheed Martin canceled the VH-71 Kestrel program in 2009 because of delays, the U.S. Navy bought back the VXX program to try to find a good replacement for the VH-3D and VH-60N helicopters, which are getting old. After a careful look, it was decided that the VH-92A made by Sikorsky was the best choice for the Marine One mission in 2014. Lockheed Martin finished buying Sikorsky from United Technologies Company after another year. In 2019, work on the new Marine One helicopters started. In its report for the year 2020, the United States Government Accountability Office, or GAO, found that the VH-92A program was generally on target with cost and schedule, even though some communication software issues still need to be resolved. Because some communication software problems still needed to be fixed, this was the decision that was reached. By November 2021, the owners had received the first 2 prototypes. Sikorsky plans to finish making their 23rd and last chopper during the summer of 2024. The fleet will be flown by the Marine Helicopter Squadron 1, HMX-1. HMX-1 is a unit of helicopters in the United States Marine Corps. It is based at the Marine Corps Air Facility Quantico in Virginia. Its main job is to carry important people, like the President and Vice President of the United States, as well as other VIPs. VH-92A Marine One development. The VH-92A name was approved by the United States Air Force in October 2014. We started a basic review of the mission systems on the engineering development model in December of 2014. During its flying test in May of 2015, the improved model was put through its paces. The preliminary design review, or PDR, was done in August of 2015. And the Critical Design Review, or CDR, was done in July 2016. In July 2017, the VH-92A took its first flight from Sikorsky's facilities in Stratford. In September 2018, the Marine Helicopter Squadron, or HMX-1 of the United States Marine Corps, did the first takeoff and landing test at the White House. How the VH-92A is put together and what parts it has. As part of the VH-92A Presidential Helicopter Replacement Program, the VH-92A helicopter was made to replace the VH-92A. It is based on the FAA-certified S-92 chopper. It also has a cabin for high-level executives and a better mission contact system. It went into service in 2021. And the VH-92A helicopter's job is to transport the President and Vice President of the United States in a safe and reliable way. The helicopter has a crash-proof fuselage and combined power plant with 2 turboshafts and a composite main rotor that can move in all directions. All of these parts help make the chopper safe as a whole. The tri-cycle landing gear is made up of 3 separate parts with 2 wheels each. The fuel system of the helicopter was made to be completely self-contained, so that if it got into an accident, it wouldn't be as likely for a fire to start. Landing gear and seats that are made to collect energy can lessen the effects of a rough landing. The VH-92A helicopter has a number of safety features, such as a de-icing system, lightning protection, electromagnetic interference protection, and security against bird strikes. Marine One is a brand new helicopter that has a lot of defense tools, like decoy launchers and laser-based directed infrared countermeasures, or DIRCM. The VH-92A's cabin and inside are shown. Because of the unusual way the cockpit is set up, the driver has a better view, which makes the flight safer. It's made so that nothing can go wrong at a single point. This is done by making all flight-critical systems fully redundant. The only people who can be in the plane at any given time are the pilot and the co-pilot. The basic avionics package comes with Collins Aerospace ProLine communication and guidance radios, as well as 2 control panels for the displays and 4 display units that can do many different things. It also has a traffic collision avoidance system, or TCAS, a weather radar, an enhanced ground proximity warning system, or EGPWS, and a health and usage tracking system, or HUMS. The digital FM radio model, ARC-244A in the helicopter, is controlled by a remote terminal that is linked to a MIL STD-1553 avionics data bus. The VH-92A also has 2 Collins Aerospace ARC-210 radios, which give it the power to communicate with satellites in full duplex mode. The rotorcraft's built-in Wi-Fi system uses a Wi-Fi router and a computer with Ethernet connections. The cabin is 1.83 meters tall and has enough room for all 19 passengers to stand up easily. The width of the cabin, which is 1.2 meters, makes it more comfortable to sit down. Because there is less noise in the cabin, people can talk at a normal pitch and loudness. The speed of Marine One and its engine. 2 General Electric CT-78A turboshaft engines give the VH-92A chopper its power. The power plant has a built-in particle filter and a pneumatic starting system. In case of an emergency, the Honeywell 36150 auxiliary power unit that is built into the helicopter will power the equipment on board. The main military carrier planes that are used to move Marine One are the C-17 Globemaster and C-5 Galaxy. Still, Sikorsky helicopters are the ones the White House prefers. The White House currently has a fleet of helicopters made up of 11 VH-3D Sea Kings and 8 VH-60N Whitehawks, all of which are made by Sikorsky. The Sikorsky VH-92A Patriot is going to take the place of these helicopters. When improvements are made to the fleet in the coming years, the White House thinks that it will be able to have a fleet of 21 VH-92A helicopters and 2 more helicopters that would be used as test aircraft. As a safety step, several helicopters are flown when the president is being moved. Paul Lemo, the president of Sikorsky, said at a meeting held by the Connecticut Business and Industry Association at the end of the previous month that some presidential missions are already using them. Right now, we use a mix of old and new planes, but we expect that the VH-92 will replace everything else within the next year or so. Sikorsky, one of the most successful aerospace companies in Connecticut, is having a big problem right now, and the delivery of a well-known helicopter is happening at a very important time. Nearly 8,000 of the company's 12,400 workers work in the state. Sikorsky, which is owned by Lockheed Martin, is responsible for their jobs. Sikorsky and its parent company Lockheed Martin failed at the end of last year to come up with a long-term solution for the Black Hawk. This was a terrible blow for the company and its Connecticut production base. Sikorsky is still competing with Bell and Textron, whose offices are in Providence, Rhode Island, for the contract to make an armed Army Scout helicopter. At the Sikorsky plant in West Palm Beach, Florida, the first Raider X prototype is almost done. However, both Sikorsky and Bell are waiting for the Army engine, which is still being made by GE Aviation. Thanks for watching this video.